Alright, so everybody's been asking me for updates on the car. I know I've been away from YouTube for a very long time. I haven't been posting anything long format. I get a lot of, post more than a 30-second clip of the car. Yes, car's done, runs, drives. So I figured I'd get you guys caught up on some of the stuff and what's wrong with it right now. Car is now on full standalone. So we ditched the stock ECU and went to an ECU Master Black. Full wire and specialties standalone harness. We did paint the car, but I'm not a painter. It didn't come out good at all. So I'm going to, here in the next few days, start sanding it down, and the car will be white. And that'll come out really nice. We do have two things in this video that we're going to do. The first, the differential exploded. I learned that differentials need oil to go, and the differential I had in the car apparently was empty. And I drove the car about 20 miles to Augusta, and not having differential fluid in it, the pinion basically welded itself together. I either forgot to check it, or it didn't have oil in it, or I don't know what happened. But anyway, things happen. Thankfully, I've got a spare diff out here in my junk pile. We're going to get it with the forklift, start tearing it apart, get the differential in. And then the next step is it needs a clutch. So we're doing a massive clutch upgrade. We're going to a twin disc. Picked this up in Japan. This is an Ogira clutch, but yeah, pretty good twin disc. And we will be pulling maybe the V160 today. It just depends on time, things like that. One more little service thing that we need to do is we need to pull out one of the axles because it is busted as well. I guess it got busted from when the diff locked up and slid off the road. Thankfully, no damage happened to the car. But yeah, we'll get up on the road and I'll do a long format video. Alright, so what's funny is 20 whatever years ago, whenever I built the first 2JZ Celica, I had a diff. So this is on my junk pile, but I have a diff, and this exact spot is exactly where I started to build with literally a diff. And I think it's kind of fitting that we're finishing the build with a diff in the exact same spot. So kind of funny, and that's the diff that's in that is the original diff. So I'm going to use this one until we get some kinks worked out, and then I'll probably go to a 200 millimeter. But yeah, we'll get this one cleaned up and go from there now.
I guess we can use that giant pipe wrench on these.
Yeah, just to hold them, because we got to stop them from turning. Shout out to Harbor Freight. Next best thing to Milwaukee. All right, so we're working on cleaning that diff. I've got the bolts, diff coated in a combination of crud cutter and oven cleaner. Best thing I've ever found to get grease and stuff off. And here at the store, I've got one of the Harbor Freight Sonic cleaners, and we'll put all these into there. Alright, we gotta get the diff back in here, and I don't have the right tool for the right job, and I don't even have my drill, so I made this handy dandy doodad to run a screw in, so then we can do some really sketchy shit. 2 screws are better than none. Just rips apart.
Yeah, you want to pick up that side?
Not really. Now the heavy piece. Need to get that up there. Oh fuck, I forgot this. Hold it real quick, I gotta let it down ever so slowly. If that's okay. Do as I say, not as I do, children. Alright, that wasn't the sketchiest thing we've done today. Yeah, go push it up just a millimeter. Up, just there. Whoa. Will you go the other big hole in the ground? And bring me the ratchet back also. And just like that, we have a new diff in the celica. Alright, so next, we're not going to have a repeat of me being stupid. We're going to go in and pull the drain plug. We're going to drain all the fluid out of this stuff because it's been sitting for probably 10 years. And then, once that's done, we'll put in some royal purple gear oil. I've got some floating around. I've got 2 or 3 quarts of it, so we'll do that and go from there. So, yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, messy. I'm glad we did that. Alright. That's pretty gross. Got some. Yeah, definitely got some metal chunks in there. But just for a roll around diff, it's not going to matter. Eventually I'm going to put a 200 millimeter in it from a Supra. But I have to have this in there to basically go through and figure out what's wrong. So. Let's get that top bolt out so it can actually drain. Alright, let's see, we're recording. Alright, it's recording. So what we're doing here is, because this diff has some crap in it, we're just basically flushing it. We're running the same gear oil into it and just pushing out any more crap that may be lingering before we put in some decent gear oil. Oil's coming out pretty clean. You can see a little bit of the stuff. But yeah, so once we get that all flushed out, then we'll get to putting in the better stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go over a bunch of questions I keep getting asked about the car and what people say, because the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, that's so cool, it's 2JZ, but why did you stance it? Well, originally I wasn't gonna stance the car. I was gonna use it, play with it, you know, have it as a semi-functional pseudo drift car. The problem is, all of this work, to make this work, you can tap a wall and the car is basically done. I mean, just the reality of it is it's too expensive. And I don't want to build it again, and I don't want to be working on it again. I like stance culture, I like Japanese street car scene, so I decided that for the most part the car will always be on a camber profile for car shows and just taking it around, because I'm not going to drive this car daily. I'm not going to use this car for anything more than going to car shows or events, things like that. I have a tow truck car hauler, it's a 2-car hauler, and this car will basically be on that car hauler its entire life. With that said though, I have a CCW drag pack for the car. These are 16-inch CCW Classics. I can throw on and the fitment is exactly what it needs to be. I'm going to be getting rid of these old tires, and it can run, I think, a 315 60 16. I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember the diameter, but there's that. I can also go in and pull the air suspension off, cap it, and put on a set of the Japanese coilovers I have. I do have extra parts. I am upgrading the clutch since we're having to pull all this out with the new diff in. I wanted a more stock filling clutch that wouldn't slip, so we went ahead and did that. But that was the reason why the car is stanced. I like stance cars, I don't mind it. I know it infuriates the rest of the internet, but you know, it's my car, I spent the money, I built it. At the end of the day, it's my choice what I do with the car, and I don't mind it being cambered and stanced, especially being on air suspension. That way whenever I go to shows, I can just park it. People can get mad all they want, but you know, it's 2J celica, so there's that. But yeah, so we're finishing up there, adjust that, so I'll start filming some more of the work. We have everything disconnected from the transmission. Transmission is ready to go. We're going to slide this trans out and get it out. We're just going to lift it on our shoulders and then take it down to the ground. Keep in mind, if you don't know anything about Supras, this is the V160 6-speed. These things used are $10,000. So, you know, no big deal if you drop it. Be all right. All right. John did make a good point saying this is the cheapest car we've ever worked on, so that is the good thing. All right, you want to get under there, and then I'll pull this last bolt out, and I'll help you manhandle it down. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Cool. There's his ass. All right, the next step to put in the new clutch is I've got to pull out all the flywheel bolts, drop the flywheel, and then we can start doing the alignment on the twin disc. Just put it on the floor. I'm gonna sell that if somebody needs a V160 clutch. Yeah, it looks pretty good. No leak. Awesome. All right. Now the fun part. Shout out to Upgarage Japan for the killer deal on this clutch. It is second hand, but Upgarage is great. Alright, so we've started assembling the twin disc. The problem is the V160 runs a specific bolt, the V160, which is long, and this twin disc is designed to use the short stubbies for like the automatics or even the R154 cars. So we're about to run to AutoZone, VatoZone, and we're going to see if we can get a set. The chances are I'm going to have to order an ARP set out of Summit Racing, and they would be here middle of next week. So we may have hit a hard stop. Alright, so after a absolute marathon, 2 hours, VatoZone had them. So we're going to get these bolts in and then get the clutch put together and go from there. So yeah, here we go. Okay, flywheel is torqued down. Now we're going to start the clutch. Have alignment marks. This is good. This one. Now. And it's that easy. Now, one thing about twin disc, a lot of people may or may not know if you've never had a twin disc, whenever they're spinning, they're chattering. They sound like they're coming loose. They'll sound like that whenever the engine's idling, but that doesn't mean anything's wrong. It's just nature of the beast with these. So we got our alignment tool. Make sure that's all the way in. Everything looks good. Now we take our pressure plate, put on that, and then torque those down. So I got to Google the factory recommendations, and I gotta grab the tool roll. The only bad thing right now is I won't have it until Tuesday or Wednesday. It's the Grannis Racing throwout bearing, but it's gonna be a little while before that gets here. So got to get rid of the slave cylinder. Now we'll torque them down, and that's probably all we can do until we have drive shaft, and that'll be Tuesday or Wednesday. one twin disc. Well, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you everybody that supported the build over the years. Sorry I didn't post there for a really long time. Next few videos should be us just ripping around the car, driving it, may take it out and get people's reaction at a just like local meet. I'll take it on the tow truck. We'll do a whole video on that. That could be cool. But and then about to start a new project, so hang around for that. Yeah, cool. See you all in the next one.